have never been done before.
We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route to do. We the people are free. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited.
Ooh, I think the old girl might be a bit hot tonight. My intro is just chopped and changed and chopped and changed the whole way through, and I've got a sneaking suspicion. Yeah, she is very hot, this little laptop. So I might have to give it a good blowout. That may require me leaving the screen for a minute because me blowing the thing clean, you probably don't want to see that for a variety of reasons. How are you? Have you had a good Friday? Friday's been good for me. I've got to do some things that I like doing, including mowing lawns today. Yeah, I know, I'm weird, but especially if there's a ride on mower involved, I'm very keen. And today there was, so yeah, a bit of fun. Not a lot of news going on around the place. So we thought what we'd do is throw the thing open like we do on a Friday to anybody who's got some questions. And of course, you may have questions regarding our cruise, which I put up at the front of the show. That's going from May 4 to 8 next year. Brisbane, Airlie Beach, where you can get off. You can choose to come to the pub with me. I think I'll be doing a bit of a lunch there with some people. And then going back to the boat. But if you would prefer, you can jump on one of the local operators and go to Hamilton Island for the day. You can go to Whitehaven Beach for the day. You can go to that little lovers grotto thing, the love heart shaped bit of coral. I think that's out that way there somewhere. So we'd love to have you on board. I'm not exactly sure because I don't like it. It's not really a formal thing here. We're not going as a big group, and not everybody who's coming is telling me they're coming. I think there's going to be a bit of a surprise. I've been told to expect a bit of a surprise. That may be that I'm going to be made walk the plank, or that Vince is going to turn up unexpectedly. You know, because there's half a chance. Well, I'm trying, folks. You see, I'm trying. I keep throwing it into the conversation. How are you, big fella? You've had a bit of a bad week. You caught the cold. You managed to get rid of that using an old potion.
Yeah, mate, indeed. Came down pretty heavily with it on Monday. Set to see the specialist on Wednesday, so I needed to be in some sort of health on Wednesday. So with a combination of a little mixture I have, which involves lemon, garlic, apple cider vinegar, and ginger juice, and honey, a few swigs of that, and a bit of sleeping, wiped it out. Well, almost. I still got a bit of. Yeah. You take ginger, right, and you strip off all the outer part of it, and then you stick it into a cold press, and what comes out is ginger juice.
That's much better than what I thought it was. I thought it was like an Irish porn movie, but it's just the way I go.
No, not quite.
Consequently, I guess you spent a lot of time, trying to recuperate at least through Wednesday, and you had your specialist appointment, which I think went pretty well, I hope, and then my place has taken up your time. You're preparing to be very festive tomorrow evening. What's going on?
Oh, we've successfully managed to get ourselves into the Madam Christmas pageant. So we're just setting ourselves up with a bit of a float, and we'll be going down the street, waving at everybody and handing out some brochures and bits and pieces. And then on the 21st of December down at Marianne Reserve, we're actually doing a free sausage sizzle for the community. We're hoping people will bring food and other bits and pieces for the less fortunate. We've teed up with one of the food banks here in Mannum, so that those that are less fortunate at Christmas time will have something for Christmas. So we're looking forward to doing fabulous. That. Love my team down here in Manham. They're great.
And you're going to get very festive. You're going to put some tinsel on a hat or something.
Well, you're trying to talk me into it, yeah. Like everything you try to talk me into, Carl. Yeah.
Well, look, you know, if I was really trying to talk you into it, I'd be trying to transfer you off the trailer onto a boat and making that, you know, your float for the parade. And that way gets you, you know, at least on the water, gets you into the mood.
Yeah, well, as I said before, good luck on that. Right, I can be a stubborn person when I want to be.
Yeah, yes, yeah, folks, he ain't lying there. I can tell you. I'm just having a bit of a scan through here at some of the early chat. A lot of folks are talking about rain, water, and lack of what's going on with the ground at the moment. Sunflower is talking to Aussie Sue. Hello, Sunflower. Hello, Aussie Sue. God love you both. Both mods doing a fabulous job. I'm sure Michelle's in there too. You got to start looking at the amazing pictures on Facebook. Yes, Aussie Sue does have some wonderful photos of not just these things that I think she creates, but she's got herself in some beautiful places as well. So lovely to see. Vincent, hello everybody. I'm looking for questions. Yes, hello.
I was just thinking, you mentioned last night it was about $900 that went to the Donkey Sanctuary. In fact, it was over 1,100 with what we had donated as well.
Oh,
so
tremendous!
Hopefully, that's going to help pay some of that $12,000 bill for the Donkey Sanctuary.
So, yeah, well, that's coming up December 8, I think it was, or 9 must be, or maybe it was today. I don't know. 8 would be Sunday, so maybe they do it on a Sunday.
Yeah, big shout out to Tony for his donation of $750. He put the whole lot back to the Donkey Sanctuary. So never a kinder-hearted person.
Yeah, on a week where he put his own money in his own car and drove what I reckon must have been 8 to 9 hours return by the time he left home, got to where he needed to get in the Wimmera Mallee and stand there for, well, what was a couple of hours, but what was for essentially half an hour's worth of live streaming, or an hour's worth of live streaming for us, and then drive 4 and a bit hours back home again. Huge effort. He is just such a kind-hearted man. We were lucky that he was able, well, he wasn't working, so he was able to go. But truly, I can't thank Tony enough. He's our Melbourne stringer with a huge star on it. I think that should, you know, we may have to get him his own personal shirt made up, Vince. I'm just saying.
I did get a picture. He sent me a picture with the VoF thing on the back, and it had crew across it. So maybe he's giving me a hint that I need to get one of those made.
No, that's my. That is actually my Voice of Freedom crew shirt that I've had, well, forever, and never worn because it was about 2 sizes too small. Somebody made it for me. It was a bit ambitious. So I looked like 7/5 of a stuffed sausage. Yeah, unpleasant on me, but I believe fits him, and he does look good in it. So I sent it to him. So he has a crew shirt, but yeah, we got to put a star on it there somewhere. He's an absolute freaking legend. Tony's at the Christmas party tonight. Oh, well, there you go. I hope you're enjoying it, and we're all saying great things about you, mate. So I hope they're celebrating you as well. You are a legend to us, and I can't imagine how important you would be in any business. You know, a man with such attention to detail and such a kind heart. So, from all of us, have a wonderful evening, mate, and hope you enjoy it. I got something for you to think about. What are your thoughts on therapy, Vincenzo?
The fact that I need it? Is that what you're saying? You're telling me I need therapy, Carl? Oh,
I'm not suggesting you need anything. I'm asking, if it were on offer, would you take it?
There are times when therapy is good for a person. I can remember way back in my earlier life where I did actually need some therapy after my first marriage breakup. There's a comes point where it is relevant, as long as the people who are giving you the therapy are worth their salt. Let's put it that way.
And herein lies the $64,000 question. I came across this on Facebook today. Therapy helped, but sometimes it moved too fast. My AI twin doesn't rush. It listens, remembers, and gives me space to think out loud at my pace. And here's the big ad for them. I swear you'll cry after the first talk with your AI twin. I didn't cry in therapy, but I cried after the first 20 minutes with my AI twin, in brackets, because it's recording every fucking secret I've got, in brackets. It helped me see patterns I've been stuck in my whole life without judgment. And for the first time, I stopped over-explaining and just felt seen. By that, the camera, that's what was seeing you. So, Vince, therapy is useful and expensive and hard to get into. Should people be throwing themselves open to my AI twin and bearing their souls and secrets to it?
It's an interesting question. Theoretically, no, because there's no confidentiality in it. As much as they'd like to say there isn't. So one of the things about therapy, it's a bit like being an IT person. You need to actually have confidentiality. You've got to have some of that moral backbone that says, this is not something I can talk about with anybody else. Right? So while AI is going to take over everything, let's face it, it's there. I'm thinking I might have to go back and start watching the Terminator series again, just to remind myself. But it's, you know, there is a certain level where people need to make a personal moral decision, and a computer can't make a moral decision, period. At least not one that I've ever met.
No, it thinks in a very binary way, a 1 or a 0, a yes or a no, in theory. But they say these AIs are learning to think like we are and to take nuance into account. My whole thing with it is, and while for most of my life I was not a believer in therapy, I was changed when my daughter had the life experience that she had that nearly killed her, and she came to me a very, very, very damaged girl. And if I hadn't have been able to get her some mental health support, a therapist, not a psychiatrist, it was a psychologist, and then that psychologist went to her partner, who was a clinical psychologist, and said, look, this kid's a bit much for me. Can you take her on? And thankfully, between them, those two women saved my daughter's life. I firmly believe that. That level of therapy for her, and I'm sure for others, because they were very hard to get into. I had to beg to get her in. It makes a huge difference. But all of Laura's files are held there. Those two women, you know, hold the secrets, so to speak, or, you know, heard the stories, were there to hear what happened. I guess that's what they're saying with this AI. But when you talk to this twin, this AI twin, it's going to elicit from you your deepest feelings, your deepest thoughts, and should you be of a mind to start criticizing the government, because there are many of us who would criticize the government in therapy if we had the opportunity, might find that our twin reports us to the authorities for sedition and a variety of other things, incitement to riot, you know, all sorts of weird shit. So if you or anybody you know needs any kind of therapy, I urge you to seek professional help from a flesh and blood human being rather than the ease of sitting down at Facebook and talking to your AI twin. You will essentially be uploading yourself to the internet. You will be digitizing yourself. And in spite of all of the security parameters that we are told are going to be in and around about all our data in the most secure of ways, every other week we are learning of data breaches, not just little ones, but huge ones in huge corporations that hold our most sacred data. What would stop someone, Vince, from developing an AI twin to twin the twin and extract the information from it? I don't think it'd take much.
No, not really. I just want to address that one that you just took off the screen.
I just want to add that up. So, sorry. I just did on with Daniel.
That's all right. Why don't we have a PayPal option with our VoF lottery? That's a long story, basically, but it goes back to about 8 years ago, where effectively somehow $3.26 landed in one of my accounts. I had a business account and a personal account with PayPal. They got on my back about what did I sell. I said, I didn't sell anything. I don't even know where this money came from. So there was no dispute resolution. There was no option to talk to anybody. They basically barred my account, figured out that that account was linked to another account because they had the same cards on it, and they barred that one as well. And so therefore I have not used PayPal ever since. And to offer that, my ex had $7,000 from a job sitting in PayPal, which they disputed and refused to shift the money, and so therefore locked up their account for 6 months. So why don't we have a PayPal? Because I don't friggin' trust them. You cannot go and talk to them. You can't even do a dispute resolution with them. So PayPal, no. Oh, I'm sorry, PayPal. If you don't like that, suck it. Right, that's answered that question. Oh, I think he's having a bit of a freezing moment there.
PayPal,
so
and I've never used PayPal.
Yeah, well, we don't have one as a VoF at this stage. So while he's actually having a half a second to get himself sorted out, this is Tony and the VoF crew shirt that he was talking about. So I just thought I'd upload that for you guys so that you can have a look and see what it looked like. So maybe we do something like that, or an FBN shirt or something along that line as well. And also, while Carl is away, I also wanted to bring up this. This is from the Australian Federal Police, and it actually raises some interesting issues.
There are current and emerging individuals and groups who are eroding our country's social fabric by advocating hatred, fear and humiliation, and the AFP once again is putting them on notice. There is no place for hate or violence in our communities, and the AFP will defend and protect Australia and our future from these threats. There will be no tolerance.
Right, so that's part of the Sky news. So I'm just going to do a shout out to Sky there on the moment of that. But you have to ask yourself the question, who determines which groups? Who determines what's right and wrong? This social cohesion task force is what they're actually talking about. And as he goes, I'll play a bit more, hopefully. I was trying to pause it, but it wouldn't let me pause it. So let's see what happens.
There are current and emerging individuals and groups who are eroding our country's social fabric by advocating hatred, fear and humiliation, and the AFP once again is putting them on notice. There is no place for hate or violence in our communities, and the AFP will defend and protect Australia and our future from these threats. There will be no tolerance for groups who advocate or have a propensity for violence. Whether offending occurs online or in person, the AFP will use its unique capabilities and legislation to collect evidence and prosecute those who seek to harm our community. The AFP supports freedom of speech and political expression. There are legal ways to amicably communicate and engage in public discourse. But let it be clear, any alleged criminal behaviour, including threats and harassment, will not be tolerated. If you wish to share extremist views that seek to erode the social fabric of our community, the AFP activity this week is a very explicit warning. The AFP will defend and protect Australia and Australia's future from these threats. For any member of extremist groups who engage in criminal activity, know that the AFP is watching you and is ready to take action.
All right, so I do have to say there, I apologise. I had my microphone turned off because I was doing a coughing thing, so I turned it off and then forgot to turn it back on. Beautiful IT work by me. So thank you to Sky News for that. I'm going to shout out to Sky News. That's their particular piece of information. You have to ask the question though, who determines what is valid speech? What is free speech? What is classed as a bad for social cohesion from this task force? I feel that while he's saying it there that they protect free speech, do they? Are they? Right? Or are they literally there to shut down anybody who has any disagreement at all with the government? Right? Now, just another quick question. I'm not sure when I had that microphone off, whether the PayPal stuff come across. So if you guys could let me know in the chat, that would be good. So, do we believe that the federal police are doing this for our benefit? Well, it depends on exactly who determines what are good groups, what are bad groups, what's good speech, what's bad speech. It's totally 100% dependent on that. So effectively, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's a bad thing. I thought it was a bad thing from the minute they brought it in. Obviously, now we only speak the truth. Here's this. What's this one? Andrew, we don't have free speech. It's always come at a cost of politically correct world and the leftist agenda. Yeah, you couldn't be even more correct on that. And of course, to add to that, we've now got coming in that wonderful thing called the under 16 ban. Interesting, if you ask ChatGTP about that, it says it's not actually law yet. I don't understand that. If it's coming into effect on the 10th, how come it's not law? Or how come ChatGTP can't find it as law? So that raises its own question, plus the constitutional challenge that's being made in court. But of course, the law will come into effect before the constitutional challenge is made. And then by the time they get to it, it's going to be months down the track. The damage is already going to be done on that situation. All right, guys, I don't know what's happened to Carl. He's full on disappeared. So it's just me here at the moment you have to put up with. What have we got here? Yep, the criminals at AFP need to look at those above them. Isn't that a true statement? Although, by saying that, I may have just put myself on the radar, but never know. All right, so chat's open, guys. Throw it in, see what you've got. Happy to answer any questions. Carl's gone down a rabbit hole. I think he might be rebooting the computer or trying to do some stuff. I pity I'm so far away because I really need to pull that thing apart and give it a rethermal paste. Typical HP, always likes to get hot. So, what else have we got there? Group is backstage. Let me have a look at some media here. Of course, we've got that wonderful thing. You've got the Australian flag. Oh, one thing I have noticed, actually, is that the Australian flag is popping up all over the place. There are people showing it. They have it on flags out in front of their houses and bits and pieces. So from here, I gather we can say that, yes, there is a bit of a movement back to the patriotism of this country. And people are starting to stand up and say something just purely by going outside and flying a flag. So you have to wonder, does this mean that more and more people are waking up? I mean, are we seeing that evidence? Because we've got that evidence has occurred with the fact that there's been an 18% movement to One Nation. Now, is that movement to One Nation because One Nation is good? Well, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I do know that that sort of a movement means that people are obviously looking for a change because they're not happy with what's going on. And that size of the movement is something else. So with this in play, does that mean that there are more people now more awake on what's going around? More awake that their food's going up every week, that their electricity costs are going up through every week, that if you're a part of a special group in Queensland that they can control your air conditioner, but you do have to opt in for that. I have a whole show going to come out on that, and I do have someone else to speak to on that. What have we got here? Clayton, what's this one saying? Here's where they see social cohesion. Muslim multi-spews, anti-Australian rhetoric equals okay. Criticising him with be a threat to cohesion. Arrested. Yeah. Well, that's half the challenge, right? What is classed as critique? What is classed as Islamophobic? What is classed as? I mean, definitions in our current time shift so much that they have to write a whole new dictionary on definitions, effectively. Question, okay, from Sandy. On the 10th of December, do we have to prove that we are over 16 years on all of these social media platforms? No, I don't think so. So what's actually probably going to occur from an IT perspective? A lot of us have been on platforms for a number of years, ever since effectively the internet started really becoming popular. So for those who have been on those platforms for a number of years, their algorithm is going to look at it and say, hey, this person's been here for 10, 11 or 12 years. This is their content. It's very adult based. You're not going to get asked the question purely because you've actually been around for so long. Sorry. And that's why I muted the mic. Still have that little bit of an itch. So no, do we need to be aware that they're going to be trying to use this to collect more data? Hell yeah. Why not? They sell that data. That's how they make their money. So yes, they will do that in that respect, but can they force you into it? No. Are you prepared to give up some of these platforms as a protest? Why not? One of the things that's happened quite significantly is MyPlace. MyPlace has a thing called the Unity Hub, which was developed quite some time ago, which is sort of a Facebook type lookalike. And it was for all the people who didn't want to, or who wanted to talk with like-minded people. That's a better way of putting it. And now it is a subscription service, and there's currently a special on there that's allowing for $20 off the current fee. But effectively, there's a place there where people can go and talk with their other MyPlace people, with other people in general who want to. You can learn about law, you can learn about health. There's a whole platform that's been built on that. And that's one of the ways that you can step out of it. And because it's a private platform, right, the government can't have any real say over it. So, well, at least not yet. They'll probably try, but we'll see what happens with that. So if you're looking for any information on that, go to the main webpage for My Place, and there's a link to that. So myplaceaustralia.org, you can get to that as well. And while we're actually on My Place, let me go here and see where Carl put it. Hopefully I can find it. Yes, My Place in Sydney, right, is having a barbecue on Sunday the 7th at Ewan Park, which I found out was in Bankstown somewhere, I think, from memory. I've now lost that page because I shut it down. Sorry, Canterbury. Yeah, Canterbury, Bankstown. Canterbury, Bankstown is where Ewan Park is. So if you want to go and meet some people of like-minded facility, you can come and have the family barbecue picnic at Ewan Park. And I haven't heard hide nor hair for Carl. He's just leaving me in the dark, dark depths. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate that. So effectively, you've got that as well. There are other things. As I said, we've got the parade that we're doing here in Manham. I know that Pause, for My Place Pause, they've got a whole Christmas thing happening on the 12th. So there is a lot of people that are waking up and starting to come to ask questions, because the narrative's no longer working as it should. Let me go back to the chat. I just think, what's this one here? No, I honestly think that our social media companies realise they've lost so much ad revenue and can't police the under-16s ban like they thought, that they will cave and make it easy to bypass. No, I don't think that's true. I believe that they won't cave. They will follow what they have to for our geo-blocked area, in other words, Australia. And they will do what they need, because the $50,000 fines are a nasty little fine, even for them. But the beauty is that our tech-savvy kids will find a way around all this shit. I believe Blue Sky, which is some sort of messaging type system, is not even mentioned in it at all. And like, if you know a bit about Blue Sky, I believe they're very much on the left-leaning side. So, that's interesting. What? What? We have named a puppy Vinny after you. We have videos of ball toss with Vinny. Giving tossing the ball with Vinny. I never was a very good retriever, so yeah, okay, that might have been a poor choice, but never mind. I really, honestly, I hope you managed to get those dogs a good home, because they are lovely looking dogs, but they do need to be a working dog, because Kelpies always are. All right. Anybody got some questions, guys, please? I really don't know what has happened to him. He's disappeared. Puppy Vince instead of Poppy Vince. Oh, that was when I was popping in and popping out. Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate that. Daniel, are you saying I have a fluffy tail? Is that what you're asking? Really? So, as it says here, Blue Sky, this is where all the Trump deranged fled after X and the election. Very, very true, very true. And while I'm at it, we should do this. Please, people, like and subscribe to the system. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so on the main VoF channel. I should also do a quick shout out to FBN here. FBN is at 497 subscribers. We need 3 more to hit their $500 mark. Just their 500 mark, which that and about double the amount of views on the current stuff that we have there. And we might even start getting into the first part where we can do ad revenue or ad sharing or something along that line. So please, 3 more. 3 more. Let's hit that milestone of 500. Now, the other thing that's been happening is, of course, silver. As you know, Ainsley Bullion is a great sponsor of this show. They have been looking after us. They supply all the stuff that we use in our VoF Ainsley Bullion holders. And we have some more of those coming out. I believe a gentleman has put in an order for just a holder without the bullion part of it. But Ainsley Bullion and silver has taken a bit of a fall today. Well, not Ainsley Bullion, but silver in general. Let me find my screen, which I just accidentally shut down, which I didn't want to do. And I need to have a cough, so excuse me. All right, and let me throw this up for you guys to have a look at. Slides. No, I want share screen. Silver, that one. Share. Now, yeah, and it did it automatically. See, it does that to me. So this is the daily average, and it can show you what's happened with silver over the last little while. Once again, we are still well above the fine, and it got quite high up here at one stage, $59, which is around $80+ in Australian, and it's backed off a bit for the weekend. But notice that it's still going up significantly in a high, and we were talking about it in CoinSpot last week, how we've got this thing here. I'll see if I can actually draw a line with it, if I can find the right one. That one, right? This here is another cup and handle. It's a technical term that's actually recognized inside charts that basically signify that the price is going to go into discovery mode. So it's good. You know what's that? It's back up, Vince. What's back up? The billion banks are broken? Yeah, they are indeed. So effectively, it may be, if we go and jump onto the 15-minute chart, I'll do that, and I'll have to do some adjustments. Sorry, guys. Hey, I'm in the wrong thing. Come here. All right. If you're going to make a mistake, it's always great to do it live. So that's actually the 15-minute jump, if you're actually wanting to know. But this is not concerning at all. Silver will continue. And I believe Carl said on the show the other night that he expected it to be 100 before Christmas. And I think that is something that's probably very realistic in what's going to happen. There's also some discussion about quantitative easing that's happening over in the United States. And usually when quantitative easing occurs, that's when markets start to go up. So be aware, the stock market and things like the crypto market may and well take off to do some more stuff over the next little while. So we can remove that from the stage, put myself back up. I really wish Carl would make a reappearance, but excuse me while I have a coffee. All right. Guys, what else do you want to talk about? As Carl said, we didn't have a lot. He did have one thing he wanted to replay, which I thought was really good. And I'm just thinking if he's got that here somewhere, just let me have a look. Don't forget, Voice of Freedom merch. Come out there and actually buy some tickets and help the Donkey Sanctuary. That would be fantastic. Okay, he doesn't seem to have it on here. He's got our regular bits and pieces, like this fella we haven't seen for a while.
Talk to you.
Good lad.
Yeah, go for it. Fuck it. Yeah. Talk to you.
No, 3 times. 2 minutes. Got it. Double clicking. Actually, I've got a bit of a challenge with my keyboard and mouse. It's tending to not work 100% well at this stage of the game. So, overall speaking, though, guys, I've run out of stuff to say. Your turn. What do you have? I've heard that we'll be switching. Whoop, try that one. I've heard that we'll be switching back to the lunar calendar soon. Is anyone else hearing this? I can't see them doing that. I mean, look at the disaster it took while they were just trying to change us from pounds and pence to decimal, and how much of an education that took. Although having 13 months instead of 12 seems logical. So sing us a song. Oh, what? All I can go is something like, what? The song that I do, swing low, sweet chariot, coming to carry me home. And that's with the sore throat. So that's the best you're going to get out of me. I don't know how well that was done, but good luck. Somebody can clip that and make a good joke out of it. I had a really awake Indian taxi driver in Adelaide last week. Excellent silver fox, no problems at all. Actually, my future son-in-law is an Australian Indian, so and he's a good lad, right? But there are some things that he doesn't agree with. But the younger generation are who the younger generation is. But my eldest daughter loves him madly, and I wish the two of them would have kids because they would be so beautiful. Anyway, never mind. That's just me having a personal wish. What do we got here? So, topic. So, if One Nation reps are swearing a false oath, what makes people think that they'll be any better than the LNP, the Liberal National Party? Here comes the old, here comes that old issue. We're in a battle for this country. Now, what people, it's a book. Carl's always talked about the book, right? Many people are on different pages within the book. Some are further into the book than others. Some can only see some parts of it as factual and some parts as fiction. And it doesn't really matter whether this is a corporate government, which I fully believe it is a corporate government. But we still need to understand that that corporate government has the multitude of the power. So what does that mean for us? That's right, I had puppy dog in here, just made me furry. So, son, can you turn the lights off, please? Thank you.
Sorry.
Children, can't take them anywhere.
I'm not a child anymore.
That's the unfortunate part. But we need to understand that we're going to have to use every weapon we can to move forward. And if some of that means that we vote for a corporate government where we can at least delay or limit their progress, that would be good. And there are, let's face it, not everybody in Canberra is there to do harm. Some actually take their responsibilities of being a representative as truly being a representative. Now, do they believe everything we believe? No. Do they believe enough that the country's heading in the wrong direction? Yeah. So that's a matter of trust and how much you're going to try and trust somebody. That's all I have to say on that one. There's a book that was written back in the 60s that explains the cabal. I actually haven't read that one. What have we got here? The question is, why isn't Pauline jumping down, up and down saying that they're going to kill me like she was when she started, and who? All right. I have followed Pauline from when she was first doing this way back when she first started looking at doing that party business. She got taught a really nasty lesson on how badly they can take somebody out if they want to. And I think through that, she's now become much more cautious on what she does and how she does it. Do I agree with everything she says? No. Do I agree with a lot of what she says? Yeah. I think that net zero sucks, and so do they. I think that the country's heading in the wrong direction with all the mass immigration and all that sort of stuff, and so do they. So that aligns with some of what I think, but that's only my personal thoughts. So generally speaking, Carl, I will shoot you. He is in so much trouble. what we got here? Always looking good, but the whole DWN system needs a clean and a new reboot from high up to low down. Democracy system is indeed something, I gather that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know how you would do that. That's a really interesting situation. Just how do that? How would they do that? I agree. That's what Carl's doing. He's taking a long weekend. Yeah, well done, guys. Democracy as we know it is not democracy as we know it, or what we think we know for democracy is. Obviously, it's supposed to be the majority, but what we've seen over the last years is it's the minority that makes the biggest noise that seems to get the win. And the majority just sit back and say, okay, let it go. It's just a small amount, but that small amount now is making so much damage to this country that we need to do something about fixing it. So now, how we do that? Well, Liberal and Labor are certainly not there. Maybe making a dent into being able to limit what they can do is how we do that. Democracy. What's this comment? Two wolves and a sheep voting on what is for dinner. Yeah, and I've got a funny feeling it will be the sheep. Thank you very much. I am just, I came in for a chat, not to be the whole host of the show. So, effectively speaking, and that's actually a very true statement, Pegs. The illusion of being free country. Ha ha. We are not a free country. We have not been a free country for some time. And I don't know how we can get that freedom back unless we teach our younger people to stand up, right, and to look at things rationally. Because I have many discussions and many arguments with my family. Well, not arguments. We have debates in our household, and some of them can get quite heated. But effectively, it's good to hear their point of view because you get a bit of an understanding on what they're seeing. And then they get to hear what experience is seen. And between them, I think they get a chance to evaluate a bit more. I have some of my children which basically, I don't know if they take anything I say for seriousness, but others do. Come on, guys. More questions. You've got 11 minutes. All right. If Carl's not back in 11 minutes, we are taking over this show on a permanent basis, and the Voice of Freedom will have a new sponsor or a new co-host or new host, period. Right. What do you mean by democracy is invalid when mass formation takes hold? In fact, isn't that the key point of democracy? It is when the masses get together. It's supposed to be majority, right? Isn't that the agreement that we went by with the Constitution, that we would do them on a majority? So just wondering about that one. Have we got anything else I've missed up here? Let's have a look. Okay, so here's a comment. Right, I feel that one nation was the design solution to the problem/reaction, knowing the uprising would eventually, inevitably, come. That's actually a pretty good bit of a philosophy. It may well have been that, right? Because we've seen those sort of uprisings and stuff happening over in England, where the party over there just is taking off like no one's business. And maybe they were smart enough to come in a little bit earlier and start setting that up. But once again, as I said, I followed Pauline from way back in the 80s or the early 80s, late 80s, was it late 90s? Sorry, late 90s. And what she was talking about there was common sense, and that's something we don't have a lot of in our parliament. I mean, let's face it, 98% of the people that are in our government are lawyers, and lawyers talk lawyer speak, which means, right, is there a coin toss tomorrow night? No, there's not, because we'll be travelling down the main street of Manham in a float as a My Place group. I did actually say that out last week, so no coin toss for tomorrow night, guys. In fact, that's actually a good thing. Eureka Stockade shows us how democracy works. The Eureka Stockade story, we should probably get Carl to do a reading on a story about the Eureka Stockade. I mean, because he's got the voice for it, etc. But yeah, that's a piece of our history that I don't think is brought up enough, about when they rebelled against the government for the mining rights. So that's something that needs to be remembered along with our Anzacs. So definitely. What do we got here? Well, even our screening for transparency in the government and the Royal Commission into COVID. Let's face it, this current government is not transparent at all. We're talking about $1.6 million for a room. We're talking about another $2.6 billion that accidentally got signed off to some state, which we don't know where it is, and it wasn't done correctly. There's a whole heap of hidden documents by the relevant people that are running as the members of this cabinet that the Labor government has. Oh, hello. And those documents, yeah, give me 2 seconds. Those documents are being revealed to the Australian people. There is much more hidden documents in the current government and the sitting government today than there ever has been in the previous number of governments. Welcome back, Carl. We said if you did not make it by the end of the show that we were going to literally take over the show and Carl would be no more.
My job here is done. I'll be off. I've created a world of podcasters. That's going to work out. Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on with StreamYard. It would not let me back in. Really? I've been sending you text. I've even sent you a picture of the message I was getting. A 500 server error, something from Cloudflare, which is obviously a portal that somehow uses this thing. So weird.
Internal server error. Yeah, Cloudflare. Oh, well, I didn't have my phone pinging.
Yes, I wasn't sure whether or not you'd see them or not. Got to tend to agree with you there. Complicit people who know better but are doing things for money, or they've been coerced, not beyond bribed, they've been entrapped in some way, and now they're being blackmailed to keep things going. Yeah. That happens as well. Now, there are a couple of things I wanted to get through just briefly. Have you got more that you wanted to talk about?
No, but I've been looking and struggling to talk for the last 40 minutes.
Okay. I've got to admit, I don't have much, and I'm just seeing whether or not it's loaded.
I did talk about silver. I've done a talk about silver.
Yeah, well, so that's an interesting one because new highs this week with silver, and it nearly got through $90. In fact, it may have even busted $90, I think, at one stage. But exciting times. At the moment, silver is sitting at 87.34. That's gone up $1 since we started the show, because it was 86.38 or something when we started the show. That's the most increase I've seen it all day today, but I haven't been watching constantly. It did drop down from 89 fairly fast down to 86, and we may see a rally overnight to where it goes higher again. And would you be surprised, Vince, to see it over 90 when you wake up in the morning?
It's doing a lot of crossing. on the EMA lines from the 50-day and the 21-day average. At the moment, it's sitting below that on the minute chart. But if we look at the 15-minute chart, that's the part that concerns me. How it's now actually dipped below this yellow line, which is the 21-day moving average. So I actually think it's going to go down a little bit more.
Okay, all right.
Right,
We've got something to wake up and watch for.
Yeah.
I like
But
that idea a lot.
once again, it's still, when you look at it on the daily chart, it's still way above where it should be. And I was explaining cup and handles. It's up here and it's starting to level out. So,
okay. Yeah. And you have appropriately mentioned FBN media channels, I hope. We required, 4 more people to reach 3 more people to reach the subscribers, that is, to reach a mark, which is required before any live streaming or something further can go on with FBN.
We can do live streaming, but we just don't get any sort of shop options or ad options or anything there in there. So to hit 500, and then you get the light version of what a podcaster who's got over 1,000 can do. So it just opens up more options that we can use.
Beautiful.
So
before I go,
did that.
My place, Eastern and Inner Sydney, are having a get-together for my place, a big community Christmas picnic barbecue. I'm not sure if they're saying the word Christmas. It might not be the thing. But if you would like to go along and be part of it, Ewan Park in Sydney is happening on Sunday, which I think will be very exciting. Wish I could be there. There's a map there on the little poster. You might be able to blow that up bigger at your place. Shows you exactly where everybody will be. It looks like a great little park. Wish I could be there for you. There is, of course, one of those happening here in Queensland, and I'm trying to find out if I've still got the thing in here. It doesn't look like I do. That's the 12th, 13th, and 14th, I believe. So I won't be able to attend that one because of my mother's 90th birthday party, which is happening on the 13th. So I won't be able to get to that, unfortunately. I would have loved to have, but can't this time around. So to those of you who are going to the Queensland one, good on you, and we will catch up again in the not too distant future. And I guess I really only have one other thing I need to add, and that's happy birthday, Vince, for tomorrow.
Where did you sneak that one? I've been looking through all of this stuff on the side. Where did you get that from? You sneaky bugger.
It's been sitting there. Yeah. So,
Vince, I'm not the only one who hasn't.
So,
who else is a Sagittarian here? Who else is a Sagittarian here? When's your birthday?
My birthday is the 15th. So yes, a few days.
Well,
another 10 or so.
Here's a funny story, and this might make you wonder. All right, I don't know if this is coincidence or not, but last night we had our My Place meeting, all right, and one of our ladies, Annette, she is just brilliant at making sure that everybody's birthdays are celebrated. She makes cakes as part of her sort of a living, so she does really nice cakes. Last night, right, at our My Place meeting, there were 3 people within 1 week having a birthday.
Wow.
Myself and 2 other people. All right. And then there's you. Now, so we're now talking, if we look at star signs, for instance, if you believe in that stuff, Sagittarians, we must be critical thinkers because there's a lot more critical thinking going on in that particular situation. I wonder if that's true of a thing. I mean, but in our group of 12 or so, 3 of them were all born in December.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. Make for an interesting dinner conversation.
It does. So, yeah. So I thought that was curious.
So as you
I got to bring the whole cake home.
As you've basically done most of the show tonight, would you like to kick me from it tonight and close it?
No.
Okay. So that's Vince. He's ready to wave.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy birthday for tomorrow, mate. I hope you have a great day.
Cheers, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Good on you. He's a legend of a human being. And so are you. Don't ever forget that. I hope you have a great weekend. We might chat over the weekend. I'll try and figure out what's going on with this thing, and life, the universe, and everything will continue. Who knows what will happen with gold and silver overnight? I think it might go up. Vince thinks it might go down, particularly silver, not so much gold. We'll wake up and have something to look forward to in the morning. Be safe if you're out there on the roads, folks. On the weekends, the dickheads tend to multiply.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's rock!